to Tossing the Pigskin. I'm your host, Nate Smith. This is the Week 3 episode. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're coming back, I appreciate the support. Was a little short on time this week, so we have a shorter episode today, just 2 segments, but it's still jam-packed with great information and hopefully pretty entertaining. So we have just 2 segments today. The first one will be recapping our picks against the spread in Week 2, and then of course 3 fresh new picks for Week 3. And we'll end it with a little segment called Who's Hot and Who's Not. Let's get to it. As promised, we'll get right into it with our recap of Week 2 picks against the spread. First up, we had the Jaguars +9 taking on the Titans. And this one, although the Jags were down early and often in this game, they rallied back beautifully and they kept it real close throughout the last quarter. Ended up losing by 3 with a chance to win it at the end. Minshew magic was in full effect, so we started off Week 2 1-0. Looking at pick number 2, we had the Ravens -7. They were on the road at the Houston Texans, and this one really didn't have to sweat much at all. Pretty much wire-to-wire domination by Baltimore. They're once again proving themselves to be one of the best teams in the NFL, and hopefully they can make it all the way to the Super Bowl this year because they're just a joy to watch. Houston had no answers for the Baltimore offensive line. And on the other side of the ball, the Baltimore D-line was just causing havoc. Watson was running for his life. Pick number 3, heading into Sunday night, we were 2-0, was Patriots +4. Although this one is a loser, and again, losses are losses, doesn't matter how close they were, Patriots had a chance to not only cover, but win this game straight up. Cam Newton had the ball on the 1-yard line with one final play, and Seattle's defense made a heck of a play. The defensive line got a lot of penetration. They ran a QB keeper to the left. He had lead blockers. Pulling linemen just didn't work out. They made the stop, and the Patriots ended up losing by 5. So we went 2-1 on the week, bringing our season total to 3-3. But alas, we are on to week number 3, still in pursuit of our first perfect week. Hopefully, that's this week. First pick for week 3. Give me the Rams on the money line at the Buffalo Bills. Now, I know what you're thinking. Aren't the Bills pretty hot right now? They started off 2-0. And the answer to that question is yes, they are. But so are the Rams. Rams right now, in my opinion, got to be the most underrated team in the entire NFL right now. You look at the quality of the Rams' wins. They beat the Cowboys in their opener, and they defeated the Eagles last week. Now, I know the Eagles aren't playing very good football right now, but hanging 37 on that Philly defense is still an accomplishment. Primarily, the Eagles are struggling on the offensive end, so the fact that the Rams' offense is clicking against defenses right now really encourages me. And I also personally believe that this Buffalo defense is overrated. They gave up 28 points to a Miami offense last week that's just simply not very good. And you look at the quality of the Bills' wins in comparison, they just don't stack up. They've beat the Jets and the Dolphins to open the season. The Rams are just a better team. I believe the Rams have the better coaching staff. And despite the hot start from Josh Allen, Jared Goff has also had a hot start. I give the slight edge to the Rams at quarterback as well. So, for those reasons, I believe the Rams cover and straight up win the game. Pick number 2. I like the Cardinals -5.5 at home versus the Lions. This Cardinals offense is just dynamic. Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray got it going on. Recently extended stud wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, and that is paying off in incredible ways. Right now, through 2 games, they are 6th in offensive yards per game. And as I mentioned, Kyler Murray's just got it going on through the air and on the ground. He really is bringing a new energy to Arizona, and this team looks like, I know it's early, but it looks like they could potentially be contenders in the NFC. But the big surprise out of Arizona is not on offense. We thought that would be pretty good. It's the defense. Number 1 in opponent third down percentage conversion rate and number 1 in opponent red zone conversion percentage rate. 2 stats that I did not think this Arizona defense would be sitting with entering week number 3. So they are just balling on that side of the ball, and I just feel really good about them against a Lions team that overall does not bring a whole lot of talent to the table. They're reeling. They're 0-2. I think Patricia, even though it's only year 3 for him, I think he's on the hot seat. I like Arizona to cover here by at least a touchdown. Now, moving to our third and final pick, give me the Packers +3 at the Saints. Once again, diving into prime time. This is a Sunday night football game, and Objectively speaking, as a football fan, this should be an entertaining game. I expect it to be pretty close throughout. I just think the Packers are the overall better team right now, and probably towards the end of the season will remain true. There's some serious problems in New Orleans, specifically looking at QB1 with Drew Brees. The man's arm has got issues. He's not driving the ball down the field really at all. In fact, he's dead last in the NFL right now in intended air yards with just 5, meaning his balls traveling downfield are averaging 5 yards in the air, which it's just not going to cut it against a Green Bay defense that is really underrated. They're strong in the secondary, and they can get after the passer with a quality pass rush. I just don't see this game going well for the Saints. They're struggling right now. Also, they're on a short week. They're coming off a Monday night loss to Las Vegas last week. I understand the Saints will probably come out hungry, and obviously they always play well at the Superdome, but Packers are the better team, and they're coming off back-to-back 40 burgers, baby. Rodgers is cooking. And this offense looks good in Green Bay. I think it's just too much for the Saints to overcome. Okay, we'll start with who's hot. And it hurts me to say this a little bit, but it's Josh Allen. Anyone who knows me knows that since he's entered the league, I've been a bit of an Allen hater, if you will. I just don't really believe that he's very talented. Had pretty crippling accuracy issues coming out of college, and it really showed early on in his NFL career. But through 2 games of the 2020 season, he looks really good. In fact, he's 4th in total QBR right now out of all 32 teams. That is something I certainly did not expect. Got to give him credit. While wins are not a QB stat, he's definitely been the primary reason that the Bills have started off 2-0. Now, for who's not hot, and that has got to be just the entire New York Jets franchise. We can lump Adam Gase in there. We can lump in Sam Darnold. Really the only bright spot on this offense is rookie left tackle Mekhi Becton. He has looked phenomenal. Just about everybody else over there in New York is not looking too good. They've started off 0-2 with losses to the Bills and the Niners. Granted, those are 2 very good teams, but it's not that they've lost, it's how they've lost. This offense for the Jets does not look like, I know they didn't have an offseason just like anybody else, but it just looks discombobulated, it looks uncomfortable, it looks awkward. And defensively, it's not much better. Last week, the Niners did whatever they wanted to, and they were basically fielding like half of their starters. For anyone that saw the injury report, basically San Francisco's entire team is hurt right now, and they still handled the Jets pretty easily. So who's not hot? It's the New York Jets. And finally, my pleasant surprise, which I'm throwing in here, is the Packers' ability to score the ball with what their wide receiving core looks like right now. Everybody knows Devontae Adams is probably a top 5 receiver in the NFL right now. But when you get to that number 2 spot and below, it's scary looking over in Green Bay. We're talking Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Allen Lazard, Malik Taylor, and number 1 tight end is 80-year-old Mercedes Lewis. I'm just saying, that is certainly one of the least talented wide receiving cores in the league. And A-Rod and the Packers have dropped back-to-back 40 burgers, as I mentioned earlier. So that is my pleasant surprise. How this Packers offense is clicking with really suboptimal talent at the wide receiver position. I think it's a testament to Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? Maybe drafting Jordan Love in the first pick pissed him off, and that's why he's playing this well. I don't know, but he looks great. Thanks for watching the Week 3 episode of Tossing the Pigskin. I appreciate the views and hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Let's hope we can hit that perfect mark. Looking for 3-0 on the bets this week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.